If the devil had a deputy, it would be Obasanjo.
That's defamation.
He's not.
How would you say that of a former president? One of the most respectable African in the world.
He's respected by some people, but this is not disrespect. I'm just being truthful.
You're speaking ill of the man who had gotten the grace to run this country 3 different times.
Well, he's gotten the grace to run this country 3 different times. He's also used it 3 different times to run the country down. So, how can someone be more devilish than that?
Because you wanted to be president. So would you have been devilish if you had been president?
Never.
So why would you refer to him?
Because his records show that nothing could have been done by the devil that he didn't do. Running out OD Village, Zaki Piam, manipulating elections. It was during Obasanjo that an election was held in this country where there were no serial numbers in the ballot papers. And he said Yar'Adua won the election. Even Yar'Adua himself had to repudiate that election. That's Obasanjo for you. He was the one who masterminded third term, even though he kept denying it. But that was what made me refer to him as the deputy to the devil.
Because that you're talking about the father of the Nigerian Fourth Republic.
Well,
he's the
father of many things and many people. But I have also met his children, his biological children, and what I heard from them is it will make you shudder. For instance, I met his son, Benga Obasanjo, years ago. We rode in his car from Benin Republic to Nigeria. It was those days I used to sneak into Nigeria, and the customs, I think immigration, were trying to detain me. He came not know who I was, and they started shouting, like, who are these people fighting with immigration? So I didn't know who he was. I went on there so that he wrote his name with a pen on their exercise book for entry into the country. He was coming from Benin Republic. And I said, "This is Mingo." So I walked to him. I said, "Why are you being rude to us?" He looked at me and said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Sowore." That time we were doing the Lendo reports. So he flared up. He said, "Oh, you people have been writing rubbish about myself." And then he turned around and said, "But I like one thing you did." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "The house that you found in Brooklyn, you were able to prove to the world I was not the owner, it belonged to my brother, and that saved me." So we left. And when he was driving, you know how security people on their own assume that the moment you have an issue, a thief with their guy, they drove past us. It was a death road between Nigeria and he just drove fast, and they had dust covering us. And then he suddenly stopped, and he beckoned and he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to Nigeria." He said, "Where in Nigeria?" I said, "Well, because we're already in Nigeria." I said, "I'm going to Lagos." He said, "Yeah, I can give you a ride." He gave me a ride, and we spoke for the entire period. It was about 3 hours. Told me many things, including the fact that he wasn't sure if his children were his.